Have you ever felt like a ghost in your own life? You walk into a room, and it feels as though no one lifts their eyes to see you. You speak, but your words seem to dissolve into the air, unheard. You give your kindness, your time, and your energy to others, yet you are met with indifference, or worse, silence. It is a heavy feeling, isn't it? This feeling of being ignored, of being alone in a crowd. It settles in the chest, a dull ache that whispers terrible lies to Yulis that say you do not matter, or that you are not enough. My dear friend, if your heart feels this heaviness today, I want you to take a deep, slow breath. Close your eyes for just a moment. You are not invisible. You are not empty. And you are certainly not alone. The pain you feel is not a sign of your lack of worth. It is a symptom of a world that has forgotten how to look deeply. But more importantly, it is a sign that you, perhaps, have forgotten where your true treasure lies. To understand this, let me share with you an ancient story. A story about a beggar, a stranger, and a hidden fortune. There was once an old beggar who had sat by the side of a dusty road for over 30 years. He was a fixture of the landscape, as weathered and grey as the stones around him. Every day, he sat on an old, beat-up wooden box. It was nothing special, just a crate he had found decades ago to keep him off the cold ground. He sat there, day in and day out, holding out his tattered baseball cap to strangers passing by. "Spare some change," he would mutter, his voice raspy with age and despair. "A coin for an old man." Most people walked past him without breaking stride. They were busy, their minds cluttered with their own worries. Some would toss a copper coin into his cap with a look of pity or annoyance, never making eye contact. The beggar felt small. He felt like a shadow. He believed his survival depended entirely on the fleeting attention of these strangers. One afternoon, a stranger walked down the road. He looked different, calm, with eyes that seemed to hold the stillness of a mountain lake. "Spare some change?" the beggar asked, mechanically raising his old cap. The stranger stopped. He did not reach into his pocket. Instead, he looked directly into the beggar's eyes with a gentle smile. "I have nothing to give you," the stranger said softly. The beggar's face fell. He began to lower his hand, turning away in rejection. But then, the stranger asked a question. "That box you are sitting on?" the stranger pointed. "What is inside it?" The beggar shrugged, confused. "Nothing," he replied. "It's just an empty old box. I've been sitting on it for 30 years. Have you ever looked inside?" the stranger asked. "No," the beggar scoffed. "Why would I? There is nothing there," the stranger persisted, his voice firm but kind. "Look inside." Reluctantly, the beggar stood up. His bones creaked as he turned to the box. It was sealed shut with dirt and age. He pried at the lid, grumbling. With a loud crack, the old wood gave way. The beggar gasped. He fell to his knees, his eyes wide with disbelief. Inside the box was gold. Piles of pure, glittering gold. For 30 years, he had been begging for pennies from strangers, feeling worthless and ignored, all the while sitting on top of a fortune that was his all along. My dear friends, this story is not just about a beggar. It is about you. And it is about me. We are often like that beggar. We sit on the box of our own spirit, our own accumulated wisdom, our own divine nature. Yet, we spend our days holding out our hands to the world, begging for validation. We beg for attention. We beg for someone to look at us, to like us, to acknowledge us, just to feel that we exist. When they ignore us, we feel poor. When they give us a crumb of attention, we feel a momentary relief. But the hunger always returns. This constant seeking, this begging, is incredibly toxic to your health. When you rely on others to determine your worth, you live in a state of chronic, low-level anxiety. Your cortisol levels remain high because your brain perceives being ignored as a threat to your survival. This affects your sleep, it tightens your chest, and it exhausts your immune system. The ache of loneliness is not just in your mind, it is inflammation in your body. The healing prescription today is to stop looking at the strangers passing by and start looking at the box you are sitting on. The gold is your inner self. It is your resilience. It is the kindness you have shown even when no one watched. It is the wisdom you have gained through years of survival. You do not need the world to validate you to be valuable. Gold is gold, whether it is buried in the dark or shining in the sun. Its value does not change based on who sees it. So, the next time you feel ignored, or the next time silence greets your words, do not let your heart sink. Instead, visualize that old beggar standing up and opening his box. Smile to yourself. Say, "I am sitting on gold." Withdraw your need for external approval. Turn that energy inward. Nurture your own peace. Care for your own body. Respect your own journey. When you realize the wealth is already within you, you stop begging. And the paradox of karma is this: when you no longer beg for attention, but instead radiate the quiet confidence of someone who knows their own worth, the world naturally turns to look, not because you asked them to, but because you are shining. Let us close with a simple affirmation. Repeat this quietly to your soul. I release the need to be seen by others. I see myself, I honor myself, my worth is within me, and it is infinite. May you find your gold today.